Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the Binding of Isaac. Well, get in, losers. We're playing Isaac. Get in, losers. We're on our way to the basement. You know the meme. Get in, losers. What do they say in Mean Girls? What does Rachel McAdams say? Get in, loser. We're going shopping. Something like that. Inside jokes. I love inside jokes. Hope I'm part of one someday. SGWARNRV. Right now, recreational vehicle. Can I tell you, I would say I'm still not RV aged. I'm getting a little older, but I'm not that old. But I have gotten perhaps to the age where I no longer look at an RV or, you know, like an older couple in an RV and go like, what are you doing? Now I'm like, I kind of get it. You know, getting in an RV, driving across the country. Whatever country you live in, hopefully it's kind of a large country, otherwise you don't really need an RV. You could, I mean, like if you live in Iceland, you could just kind of like put a tent in the back, I guess, and you could drive from Reykjavik to Akureyri, and then you could, you know, tent out and then come back the next day, you know? I don't know why I'm laughing. Haha, it's an island, it's tiny, you know? No offense to my Icelandic viewers. Hope you're loving it over there. Hope you're eating some Icelandic street food. Some delicious chicken noodle soup. No, hold the noodles. Sans noodle. The older I get, the more I kind of understand it. Because it's kind of like, if we're going to put it in video game terms, and the first thing I'm going to say is, like, I'm extremely pleased that we kept our Book of Belial charge. But if you're going to put it in video game terms, I feel like driving around in an RV after you're retired is kind of like playing The Sims and American Truck Simulator simultaneously. You know, you drive however much you want to drive during the day. You look at the sights, you see the parts of the country or even the world that you never got a chance to see. And then at night, you just kind of, you know, watch TV, take a snooze. It sounds nice. You know, it's tempting. It's tempting. We'll see how these fires go. It's not really my idea of a good time right now. Like, I'm at the age, I'm past backpacking age. I kind of skipped that part. And I'm past, like, this part never existed for me, but like, hey, let's go to, like, Ibiza. There's a killer rave happening there for, like, the next 6 days. That part never really, you know, nothing against it on a broad sense, just never appealed to me. But I'm now, like, I think 30s and 40s vacations, like age 30 and 40, not 1930s and 40s, because, I mean, like, I don't, you know what, let's not even, like, make a joke about it, but, you know, times are kind of tough in the world at that point. I think we will buy Spirit Hearts, and then blow this up, and then we're gonna try to keep this going as long as possible. And let me check this, what was going on in here? A Tears upgrade is mighty juicy. I just don't know if... let me see what we got in the deal with the devil here first. But I feel like I'm really like a 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 kind of... I think that's when my vacations, you know, if we're lucky enough to live in a society that still has vacations in a, you know, at some point in the future. I think that's where my vacations are going to shine. That's where I'm going to hit my resonance point, where what people expect of me and what I want to do are at, like, the same level. Because, like, you know, I like to go to a big city. I like to sightsee. But mostly, like, my dream vacation is like, hey, we're in a nice place. Wake up when you choose. Drink a nice cup of coffee or two. Eat a delicious breakfast. And while you're finishing breakfast, talk about what you're going to get for lunch. Then later, you know, go see some sights, take a nice walk around. And then when you're eating lunch, go, you know, this lunch is pretty heavy. Then again, we have been walking a lot. And then, like, after maybe you have, you know, like a cocktail with lunch, you go back to the hotel. Eyes are starting to droop. You take a little nap. You wake up 2 hours before dinner. You go, we can't just go to the hotel restaurant again, can we? I mean, it was delicious. I mean, that Cobb salad. And then all of a sudden, you're down in the hotel restaurant eating the Cobb salad, you know, it's that's my kind of vacation. And you just do that for one more day than you should, so that by the time that extra day that you spend where you start to miss home, that's important. You'd think, like, why not leave when you're at your peak sentiment? It causes psychic damage to leave a vacation when you're having the most fun possible, you know? Instead, you want to just very, very slightly overstay your welcome so that when you know, get off at your home airport, you're like, feels good to be back. Don't get me wrong, it was fun. But man, it feels good. There's no place like home, right? Anyway, so that was a nice little detour conversationally we took there. I don't mind Golden Teleporter. I'm just going to tell it to you straight up. I don't really mind Golden Teleporter. It will depend, because like our damage is actually really good. There's very little to complain about. We basically improved our damage by like 40% from the start of the run, which is awesome considering, I mean, it's awesome full stop, but it's especially awesome when you consider the run just freaking started. But it would always be nice to have more, but is Book of Belial really the way that we're like, are we committed to that being our way forward here? I would say we might just get something on this deal with the devil that kind of sorts it all out for us. No promises, of course, but it has been known to happen from time to time. We'll see. We'll see what happens here, because this is our secret room. It's like, sometimes it's, you don't even notice. It's like a magic eye puzzle. It all comes together at the very end. Unless you're that guy from Mallrats who never figured it out. Maybe he figured it out at the end of the movie. I don't know. I talked about it maybe like a month ago. I'm not... Mallrats, I find it very strange. Like, Mallrats to me is almost like slacker fan fiction. Like, the dialogue is written in like a maximal way that nobody has ever spoken in real life. Snoochie boochies. This is tough. Sorry, you gotta keep the APM up. Okay, so here's how I see this going down, alright? Here's how I see this going down. We become Dark Judas. Our stats are gonna be incredible. Unbelievable. Logical, physical. And then we're gonna try to find the second secret room, which I'm thinking at this point must be here. Very exciting. We needed better than that to be more excited, but that's okay. Because, like, really, here's the thing. Like, we want to use Golden Teleporter. The problem is that we want to use Golden Teleporter to get us out of the Curse Room as well. I guess we have a charge that we can use to do that, but it's a little prickly. I don't know, now that I think about it, I'm like, was that a 2-key room back here, or was it a 1-key room? Because if it's a library, I'll, you know, putting the cart in front of the horse a little bit, getting ahead of ourselves, so to speak, but, oh, it's a 2-bomb room. I think that leads to us winning the game. If we had found a library, I would have called it a win, I think, right out of the gate, but let's get a 2 of diamonds going here, and let's be honest, that's probably as good as it's gonna get, unfortunately. And I think we want to go into... Here's my thoughts, okay? If we go into the Curse Room, we will be forced to teleport into... And it already paid for itself, which is nice. We'll teleport into Isaac's room, where we're going to get an absolutely delicious 3 Spirit Heart bonus right here. We're not going to be able to organize a way to get down to the potential black market here, but we also don't care because of the fact that, obviously, like, we're not going to... I mean, we just don't have the means to do anything once we get there, right? We got no HP. You got no talent! You're flat! But this run is like, it's close to a win right now for sure. It's pretty good. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. You know, all things considered in North America right now, I don't want to say I can't complain. You could definitely complain. You could be forgiven for complaining. I think it's fair to say. But, you know, on a personal level, going pretty well. Except for the fact that, you know, we did just get, no Spirit Hearts, which is kind of busted, right? No Spirit Hearts out of 4 blue fires that all got blown up. It's a little, you know, sometimes life is unfair. I'm just gonna move on. Today is Wednesday. had an opportunity today to get a little bit more recording done, which is nice. I haven't really had a day like that since we pivoted to the new stream schedule in the before times of, like, 5 days ago. So I think it's nice to have. I'm trying to, like, let's not call it claw back, but anytime I get a chance to squeeze in a little bit more recording and the opportunity to have a backlog that's more than, under 24 hours, it's a good time. It also, it's something people have always asked for, is, like, I love these Isaac episodes. I just wish they were more timely. I mean, like, one of the most noteworthy Isaac episodes from December, this guy was talking about a movie that was contemporaneous in the year 1994. So this guy's got a 26-year backlog. Obviously, I don't, but man, that would be kind of sick, though. If I had substantially more time, that would be fun. Anytime a backlog got over, like, 10 videos, if you started putting, like, videos into a seed vault and then just pulling them out, like, 10 years later to see if things aged well. Let me stop you right there. Probably not. I would say the percentage of discourse that ages well versus discourse that ages terribly is, I'm not going to say there's no discourse that ages well, but you've got to be very, very prescient. If you're merely, like, in keeping with the themes of the time, in 15 years, you're probably going to look like you got kind of some troubling attitudes. Which I guess is progress, Plus, I wouldn't... How are you going to keep those videos? You're going to store them, like, on a cloud? You're going to put them on Microsoft OneDrive or something like that? Isaac, 2016, January. Hey, guys, boy, this Marvel stuff's sure popping off, huh? Can you believe they made an Iron Man 3? Oh, well, probably the beginning of the end of that. But then who knows, maybe this video is, like, accidentally prescient, like, in its own way, Prescient, I'll say, is one of those words I don't like, because even when you use it correctly, people try to correct you. It happens all the time. I know I've told this story ad nauseum before, but I always go back to this, like, I use this word all the time, because I'm a snob and I can't help myself. The word is fruition, and it means for something to basically, to bear fruit, For something to come into existence or to bud in some way. Like, you could say, for example, like, the idea came to fruition when we finally, organized the mission statement and a business plan or something like that. It means you put it into action and it's starting to, there's, like, material related to it that's coming into existence. I used it in a biology paper in 12th grade. So it wasn't on the cutting edge of science, let's be honest. But my biology teacher circled the word and put, like, 6 question marks around it and said, not a word. And then marked me down. At that point, I had already been accepted to university, so I wasn't, like, it's not like I got, like, a 35% on the paper. It was, like, just a little mark down for using a fake word. And I was like, I'm not gonna go talk to her about it, It's not like my time is more valuable, but, it's a discussion that we don't necessarily need to have. But it just got me thinking, like, man, the confidence, and I'm not anti-teacher, I was a teacher myself for a time, of course, but the overconfidence of some teachers to just be like, I'm not even gonna look. I just assume that, okay, hold on, this will be second secret room. I'm just gonna assume that I'm right, because I've never seen that word before, and even if I'm wrong, hey, if a 12th grader's using a word that I don't know, it doesn't mean that they've read a lot of books. They probably are just plagiarizing, copying word for word from the encyclopedia in the pre-internet era, which is not when I went to high school, but let's pretend. Okay, very important here. Should be a deal with the devil. Our HP is good. We can afford this. Okay, I will admit, I was like a little bit of, moments before disaster. Hey, dude, shielded tears, piercing shots, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Algia's very important. Ansus? Yeah, sure, why not, Why not? This is very, very nice. But, prescient, it's the same thing. It's one of those words, that even when you use it properly, people will be like, did you mean precious? And also precious wouldn't make sense there. I'm like, yeah, you're right, it wouldn't make sense there. That's why I didn't want to... You know what? We should have done that earlier. That's why I didn't use that word. I used a completely different word with an entirely different meaning. There's a few words like that. Again, fruition is one of them. There are also, like, there's words that are at the intersection of, like, I don't know how to use them properly, and also I find the pronunciation a little jank sometimes. Like, there's some English words I would rework. I don't know if you've heard this conversation from me 1,000 times before already, but words like omnipotent, I think, is really good. But when people say omnipotent, it kind of makes my skin crawl, even though I've rallied against, you know, I literally had to turn off the video when he said omnipotent. I mean, like, come on. I'm expected to believe this guy's opinions on Transformers action figures when he pronounced the one word wrong in the English language. But yeah, that's my caricature of myself. And then, but the one that gets me is omnipresent, which I'm pretty sure you do pronounce it like omnipresent, even though if the rules that held true for omnipotent continued, it would be like omnipresent. But again, that sounds like so stupid. Even though, there's no reason for it to sound so stupid, except that's not the way. But in the English language, so many things that are the way for one word are not the way. They're rules for me, but not for thee, and so on. Anyway. Anyway, English sucks. Boo. Boo English. The only language I support? Strictly typed C++. With no generics, please. I like to be able to... I like to know what's going into my computer. No generically modified code, please. Excuse me, is this code organic? Is this craft code? Or is this generically modified? I don't know why I stuck with the bombs at the end of that. I guess I saw my investment dwindling and I said, you know what, we need something. We need something to be happy with here. If I was the only consumer of sketch comedy shows, a programmer downloading a smartphone app from a restaurant and asking if the code was generically modified, it would be like, that would be something that would get a sensible chuckle out of me. But unfortunately, and also fortunately, I'm not the only person on planet Earth. So I think that if you're saddled and burdened with the idea that you have to make something that other people would find funny instead of just me, that one's not going to do as well as the one we came up with in Spelunky 2 a couple weeks ago, which was millennials going to prison but not knowing any phone numbers and going, I need my text. You promised me I'd get one text. When do I get I just want my text. Okay, hold on. We've been to both secret rooms. We've been to the deal with the devil. We will tell the D8 that we don't want to see it anymore. It's going to be a moment that's going to be hard for everybody, but I think we're going to come out the other side feeling better. I don't. So, like, I told you, like, as soon as I got this new monitor, I still play Isaac in, like, a little tiny window in the center of it, right? And that... I made the joke that, like, that means I can have Twitter open in the background and I can still read the trending topics. So, like, today there was, like, you know, I'm not sure if you've heard about the news, but, you know, like, the Capitol building got taken over in, like, an attempted coup. And, you know, when I was recording the last Isaac video, I looked at the trending topics because they're just in my peripheral vision. And you're like, huh, Civil War, huh? Surely that can't, but it's probably about you know, two rappers are having, like, maybe a little conflict or something. That's funny. Nope. Like, not really that hyperbolic, all things considered. And then now I'm looking at it, and it says, trending, politics, Area 51. And I'm like, all right, you know. Surely, there's probably, like, a meme tweet went viral, and I'm gonna click on it, and it's gonna be like, nah, dude. They found aliens. Yeah, there's aliens there now. And I'll be like, whoa, crazy. Anyway, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. You hear about all this alien stuff. Whoa. Well, you know what they say. Squammy, squammy, do whammy. Hi-yo. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty wild. I laugh, but there's one of those laughs that's more like how Ed Norton laughs at the end of Fight Club. If he laughed, and he says, you know, you met me at a strange time in my life. It's like that, but like for North America in general. Anyway, moving on. Aliens. You know what? Now I gotta click. I gotta know, okay? I gotta know. Alright. It's just a resurgence of the memes from, you know, if we Naruto run, the bullets cannot hit us. I get it. You know, levity is important. Not as important as, you know, almost anything else, but still important, I suppose. Because I don't think I'm ready for aliens, man. Like, I gotta tell you, literally, like, I sent a group, I have a group, like, Google Hangout with Malf and Josh and some other guys that I've been friends with forever. I went to college or university or even high school with some of them. I remember I sent them a message Tuesday night. And you can blame me for 2021 having some weird stuff so far, I guess. Because I literally verbatim said, I feel like 2021 so far is like the train has slipped back onto the tracks, you know? Like maybe I felt like things were getting a little turbulent, you know, with the whole pandemic and, you know, some of the political stuff. And then, you know, 2021, I was like, things are, you know, I feel like we're back on the straight and narrow. And then the next day, it was like, oh, really? How do you feel about this? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll never express optimism again. Thank you. No, I think that's the wrong takeaway. But, well, I know that's the wrong takeaway. There's no think about that. Yo, this is fortuitous timing. I am happy to have Golden Teleporter, Black Rune, which is amazing. We gotta go a little faster. Black Rune, though, is incredible for boss rush, and then we can teleport out. And you know what? There's a lot of battery charges available. So, like, it would be nice to find secret room access if possible. But I don't want to jeopardize our ability to get to boss rush. It would also be awesome if we got, okay, no secret rooms, huh? And also, never mind, because this is not even the floor that boss rush is on, so disregard. You know, no need to concern yourself with all that, then. We will not worry too much about boss rush, because we're probably not gonna... And there it's gone. You know, you get the idea. Alright. Second secret room. Always happy to see... I thought I was gonna walk into that. Always happy to see a red chest. We're only 2 items away from becoming Guppy, which is something that seems to be happening with decreasing regularity. Probably because I'm a little bit less deal with the devil focused. What? Okay, hold on. You know, I think it's worth the walk. You love to see it? Unfortunately, wait a minute. No, I still need to walk over the spikes again, but... Is it worth it to get to the error room? No, I don't necessarily think so, but on the other hand, ooh, shiny. Yeah, okay. I mean, even if we get nothing really out of these chests, I think I'd be pretty okay with this. And we got something. Basically we got stats, because we're going to suck up both of these. And we're going to get speed and shot speed. Not really my cup of tea. That's okay. I mean, actually, our speed was not great, so this is fine. Anyway, this run is, like, really good. 3 rate of fire, 12 damage. That's pretty incredible. We can live with this one. So we're going to go to palindromic numbers here. I've been enjoying the streak so far. Always nice as well. Like, the double digits, I feel like this is where you start to settle down a little bit. You know, not that I'm, like, apprehensive at all times when I start an Isaac episode. And actually, you get a little bit more apprehensive as time goes on. I would say, like, if you were to map it, you know, on, like, an XY plane. I don't know why I keep saying that instead of saying just, like, a graph. Well, I don't know. A graph could be XYZ, or you could make it logarithmic scale on the axes, and I just want you to know that I'm talking about a traditional linear XY graph. I would say that you're apprehensive when a streak is very low, and you're anxious when a streak is very high, and then you get into like the middle step. You know, where you're just like living your life. I think I'm just living my life right now. Nothing, huh? I think we'll take spiders. I don't mind spiders. So let's talk about like how this run goes from here. This is usually where you would probably think about getting rid of the golden teleporter. This is where our paths stop crossing. Probably go back for that spirit heart as well. Dude, I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm heavily like under-caffeinated today. Anybody that has a biological dependency on caffeine will tell you that there is like a weird zone you can find yourself in where you have to run a diagnostic on yourself and be like, am I over-caffeinated or under-caffeinated? I had like a pretty jacked up sleep last night, just being honest. You know, not just fishing for sympathy or whatever. But then, you know, I had some caffeine this morning. It's like 6 hours later now. And you're like, wait, I'm a little sick to my stomach, which is not, you know, it's not 10 out of 10, but it's like a 2 out of 10. And like my head kind of hurts. Is that the hurt that comes from too much caffeine? Is that the hurt that comes from too little caffeine? I'm not... It's bizarre. It's like two sides of the same coin, you know? I'm not really complaining. I'm just saying, if you're wondering why I'm conversationally kind of like spinning my wheels a little bit, you know, I think that combined with current events might explain it a little bit. But my brain really is like, some days I'm like, and you know what's happening when it happens. Like, I don't want to like make myself look like I'm conceited or narcissistic or whatever, right? Because when you praise yourself, especially as a content creator, that's how it can come across a lot of the time. It's like, you know, you think your you know what doesn't smell. But lean a little bit closer, see that roses really smell like doo-doo-doo-doo. But some days, like when I had that Home Alone 2 episode where I went off on that rant, I was like, people are gonna really like this one. And then so you're just electric, you know. Your neurons are connecting properly. You find yourself like it's like you're playing Minecraft and you found like a sick vein of Banter ore. Like redstone, lapis lazuli, no thank you. I just found like a sick deposit of Banterium, you know. But some days you're like, you know, you pull out a little, maybe you get 2 little nuggets of Banterium. And then you get a lot of gravel, which is like the worst thing to have to mine. Unless, of course, you're looking for flint and steel to get a nether portal for the Minecraft speedrun. But yeah, I mean, you get the gist of it. You get where I'm coming at this one from. Marbles. We could use a trinket change. I don't think we're gonna. I thought we were gonna, but I don't think we're gonna now. And I think we'll just head down to the next floor. Curse of the Blind. I do feel blessed that we've had some pretty easy Isaac runs lately, like, oh no. Which I shouldn't say on a Judas run where HP could come into question, but, you know, I did feel like we kind of got put through the ringer. Not even just like the run we lost, and not even the run after we lost, where we came back as the lost and managed to make it work. But like even before that, I felt like over the past like 3 months, we've had by my standards a disproportionate amount of runs where like we just didn't get much in the way of the fun stats. And it just like, man, it's so much easier to like enjoy the game when you win. I hate to say it, because there's like 2 problems, right? One of the problems is, you know, that, and I've said it 200 times, so I'm not going to say it, you know, in great detail again, but, you know, the game is, it's not that it's just fun to win, although it's also fun to win, but it's also that the game is at its most fun when you are feeling powerful, which, you know, sometimes, well, really tends to coincide with a win. You can have, like, kind of glass cannon type runs, but where you're powerful and weak at the same time, but, most of the time, if you're relatively strong, you're gonna win pretty easily. But then the other thing is, like, anytime you ever complain about an Isaac run, it really, like, anytime you ever complain about anything as related to losing in a video game, you always have to deal with the kind of weird, like self-help Tony Robbins video gamer types. You know, if you say good game, you cheated not only the game but yourself. That's such a weak mindset. Like, you know, really, I enjoy single-player PvE games more when I lose and don't have fun. When I don't have fun is some of the most fun that I have in my life, because you know, if you put fun on the table and then you put a book called How to Have Fun on the table, I would take the book, man. Actually, that might, unlike the $100 million question, you know, like the. Look, if you've missed some of the lore lately, there was a tweet that was like, you know, the rise and grind part of Twitter was like, if you put a book in front of me that said how to make $100 million, and you put a book or you put $100 million in front of me, I would take the book, man. I'm just built different. And you're like, really? Because I'm pretty sure the book is just gonna say, you should have taken the $100 million that someone offered you. That's like the easiest. You don't even need to read the book at that point. Also, I feel like, well, you know, let's not even get into it. I was gonna say, I think you gotta step on some people's necks to get to 100 million. I think. Oh, I did it again. Oh well. Nevertheless, if you put an infinite amount of fun on the table and then a book called How to Have Fun, I don't know, but doesn't a book called How to Have Fun, doesn't it just sound like the most insufferable book of all time? You're like, I know how to have fun, man. Just give me brimstone. It's not that complicated. Get in, loser. We're getting brimstone. I'm testing a hypothesis. The hypothesis is that a callback doesn't even need to call back to a funny joke in order to be perceived as funny itself. Your response may be recorded for quality control. Dude, by the way, I can't remember again if this is Isaac or if this was stream content, but I was talking about like how few phone calls I got and how I've gotten like no voicemails lately. I felt very can I say touched, maybe even flattered. I actually received a voicemail this week from a spam bot telling me that my social insurance number had been, you know, you've committed tax grand larceny and you must appear before a magistrate judge. And I was like, yeah, whatever, Justin. Not HC Justin. The joke is it was Justin Trudeau on the phone. I told you, Justin, stop calling me. Nice hair though. Okay. Where'd you get this number? I told you, Justin, stop calling me. I'm with Jugmeat now. Didn't you watch the stream? I know you played Among Us with Jugmeat Singh. Would you like to play Fortnite with me? Justin, that game's old hat, dude. You don't have your finger on the pulse of the gamer nation anymore. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!